Hi guys, it's Heather here. I'm going to take you for today's warm-up session. So this session should be completed before starting on any of your main sessions. So we're going to start nice and chill, and then we're going to bring up the tempo a little bit, just so you're ready to go for your main workout without getting any injuries, okay? So we're going to start on the floor. Now, if you want a mat or anything, please feel free to grab one just now, and make sure you've got some water and you've got plenty of space, all right? So, first exercise, we're just going to stretch off the back and the hips. So we're going to be in a T position. One leg comes up and our foot is going to be right next to our knee. Going to let our knee flop to one side, and then we're going to look in the opposite direction. Nice deep breaths in this position. And hold for 15 seconds or so. Perfect. And then when you feel ready, bring that knee back down to straight position, and then swap over. Again, knee flops over to one side, and you look in the opposite direction to your knee. Nice deep breaths. You should feel a good stretch down through your back, through your hip. Perfect. Back to that main position, and we're going to bring legs up. And we're looking for 90 degrees at the knees, and we're going to flop legs down. Up to the top, and then to the other side. So this is called the 90-90, but I'm making it a little bit lazy. But rather than sitting up, we're going to start on the floor. Perfect. Okay. So now we'll do that sitting up. So same again. The top position, you want to have 90 degrees at each knee. So arms here or arms forward if it helps. We're going to go up to the top, and then we're going to turn to the other side. Keeping 90 degrees at all those knees, and you might find that you're shifting forward on your mat. Don't worry about it. You should feel a good stretch through the hips. Perfect. One more, each side. Perfect. Okay, up to the top. Now, onto all fours. Make sure you're creating a table position, 90 degrees here, 90 degrees here, and your wrists, elbows, and shoulders are all stacked on top of each other. So we're going to do cat-cow. We're going to tilt the hips, arch the back, and bring the head up. And then we're going to change that position, tilting the hips under, head under, and then spine up towards the ceiling, squeezing the abs. And then again, reverse. And once more. Perfect. Okay, back to that table position. So we're going to bring one arm up. We're going to try and create that straight line with the arms, shoulders. And then we're going to feed one arm through. Put all of the weight down onto this shoulder. Rest your head on the floor, and if you want to extend the stretch at all, you can reach forward with this arm, or you can bring this arm back and then drive with that hand into the floor. Back up to that top position. We'll swap over and do that once on the other side. So, hand up to the ceiling, nice straight line. Feed the arm through, and again, take this hand forward, or bring this back and push gently into the ground. Perfect. Back up to the top. Standing up, and now we'll get into a little bit more movement. So, jogging gently on the spot. And then we're going to start to bring those knees a little bit higher. Higher still. Perfect. Bring that down again, and then we'll go to heel flicks. Try and keep those knees pointing straight down to the floor. And then back to high knees. And then heel flicks. Again, keep those knees pointing straight down. Perfect. Little side to side, little lateral movement. I'm out of breath already. Perfect. Okay. Now, nice wide stance for this. So wide. And then we're going to take the hips backwards. So hips go back, we bend at the knees, okay? So make sure those knees aren't going over the toes. From here, we're going to go over to one side, keep hips nice and low, then move over to the other side. Don't worry if you don't feel like you can go as deep as I am, that's okay. Don't you worry about that. Go with what's comfortable, don't push yourself. This is our warm-up. Perfect. Now we're going to pause one side. And we're going to go up to the top, pushing off of this leg. To the top, down the same side. We're going to do 4. So that's 2, 3, and 4. Perfect. Now we're going to go down this side. 1, 2, and again, depth, whatever you're comfortable with. Last one. Perfect. Okay. Bring that stance in a little bit. Whatever is comfortable for you in terms of body weight squats. We're going to start nice and shallow, slow and controlled. We're not going to rush, okay? And then as we go through these 10 reps, we're going to gradually increase the depth. So hips go back, bending at the knees, head up, chest up, back is engaged. Okay, halfway now. So we're getting a little bit deeper into that squat. Make sure our hips don't tuck under when we get into that deeper position. If you feel like those hips are tucking under, just remain at a slightly shallower depth. Last 2. Perfect. Shake those legs off. Okay, up next, we're going to do some inchworms. So eyes on me for this one. I'm going to demonstrate first. So I'm going to reach up nice and tall, and then we're going to bring the hands down. Now, I'm sorry, my hamstrings are very tight. I'm normally more flexible than this. So from here, we're going to walk out little steps on those hands just to warm up our shoulders. And then we're going to get into that plank position. And again, wrists, elbows, shoulders, all stacked on top of each other. From here, we're going to press. We can press from toes, or we can press from our knees, whatever you're comfortable with. If you're uncomfortable with the press, that's okay. Hold this plank position. Then from there, take the feet out a little bit, and we're going to push back into downward dog. We're going to hold that, and then bring ourselves to the plank position again, and then we're going to walk ourselves back. So we're going to complete 3 of those. You ready? Hands up to the top. Hands down to the bottom, and then lots of little steps, warming up those shoulders, and then plank. We're going to press, knees or toes, whatever works, feet out, push back into downward dog. Drive those heels into the ground. You can take a little walk, bending at each knee alternately if you want. Back to the plank, and then walk yourselves back in, reaching up nice and tall. And we're going to go again, second time. Perfect. Press. Push back into downward dog. Go for a little walk, bending at each knee if you like. Back to the plank, walking yourselves back in. Okay, last one. Up to the top, down to the bottom, and then walking out. Press. Push back into downward dog. Now back to that plank. A little bit of a difference this time. We're going to let those hips drop. Let go of those toes. Nice loose hips. Eyes up. Deep breaths. And then bring the chin up towards the ceiling to a position that you're comfortable with. Deep breaths. Perfect. Now, tuck those toes under. Pop back into the plank position. Now from here, we're going to touch a toe and alternate. Last 2. Perfect. Okay, onto the knees. Now we're going to do a couple of ab exercises just to get those abdominals activated, and then we'll be done. We'll be good to work out. So, lying back, bring the feet in towards your bum, and then from there you can either have hands under the small of your back, or if you feel confident to do so, you can have your hands away. Just make sure that you're pressing the small of your back into the floor. Okay? Now elevate feet off the ground. From here, we're going to take those feet out as far as we possibly can. If you feel confident enough to take them all the way out, that's great. Make sure your heels aren't touching the ground. Bring them back in, and again, out. And then we'll do one more. Bring those feet back in. Last one. Perfect. Okay, that's us. We should feel good and ready to warm up, to work out, sorry. And yeah, thank you so much for joining me, and enjoy your main session.